Terry's ATV was ready to go. Now all he needed was a certified authority to time his record attempts for Guinness. It seemed easy enough, but became one of the biggest obstacles facing his attempt.
The problem was we approached your traditional Bonneville boys.
For over 100 years, Bonneville has been the place where speed seekers go to break records. Every major land speed record has been broken at Bonneville. Were they ready for the fastest ATV?
Unfortunately, they looked at us ATVers as some sort of a bunch of kooks or something.
Bonneville wouldn't have anything to do with an ATV. Go figure, you can run motorcycles, you can run three-wheelers.
They wanted me to put roll cages on this thing and all kinds of safety features.
Would you want a roll cage and a seatbelt on what Terry was riding? No, so they just categorically said no.
Bonneville's rejection could have meant the end of the attempt. But Terry and the do-it-yourself team had a neat solution. Form your own timing authority.
We formed Northwest Off-Road Timing Authority to recognize off-road vehicles, whether it's a motorcycle, an ATV, a sand car, truck, whatever.
Guinness World Records accepted them as an accredited authority within the United States for establishing world records.
Shut out of the Bonneville Salt Flats, Terry still had one major hurdle to overcome.
Finding a long, flat, safe, smooth area that we can go that far was almost impossible. Somebody told me that in Oregon, that Freightliner had a test track. Well, we're at the Freightliner track at the Madras Airport. Freightliner uses this for testing all their various production vehicles because of this really incredible road that's right here. I mean, it is smooth, very few distortions. It's narrow, but when you have a bike dialed in the way ours is, that's not really an issue.
It seemed the perfect fit, except to the man most experienced in land speed attempts.
Because it's so narrow, is if something happened and the vehicle went off course, there's a very, very slim margin for error. And if he were to come off, it wouldn't be pretty.
Freightline's track left Terry with no room for error. Terry was determined to forge ahead. He took his ATV on the track for the first real speed test.
And when I rolled that bike out there, rocket engine installed, all set up to do this, and here was this track sitting in front of me. I think that was the very first time that I realized, wow, this could really happen.
The ATV seemed ready for the attempt, but how ready was the human element?
The rocket is just so powerful that you really, really have to be in, good physical shape to hold on to that bike.
It'd be nice in a perfect world if I could sit here and say that I'm going to hold on to this thing with both hands, tight as I can, push one button and just get through the ride. But unfortunately you're not. At any given time, you've only got 2 or 3 fingers on each bar. You're manipulating a throttle, manipulating switches to control the nitrous system, various stages of the rocket. To be able to do that and handle a bike that is trying to vibrate, trying to steer against you, you better make sure them 2 or 3 fingers are really strong.
Setting a world record requires more than just getting the machine out on the track and going as fast as you can. There is a proven and required method the NWOTA had to follow to meet the strict standards of the Guinness World Records.
Way down the track is the first timer. It's not like drag racers where you hit a peak top speed and then back off. You have to hit that speed when you enter the traps and hold it. And it's a series of infrared timers. But by the time you hit that first one, you want to be going the fastest that you possibly can. You have to immediately turn around at the other end and go the other direction. And then they take the average of the 2 maximum quarter-mile speeds and put it together for an overall average, and that's your time.
It was really a lot of unknowns for me. I figured he could get hurt, and then I'd have to take care of him. I knew he was going to do this, so accept it and go out there and support him and see what you can do to help. We got out the brooms, we were sweeping everything and making sure that there was just nothing in his way, and setting up all of the equipment.
Giving it everything, he quickly cranked the ATV up to top speed. He engaged the rocket and barreled through the traps. Reaching the end, he turned the bike around and blasted off on his second run. Terry knew he had gone fast, but nothing could have prepared him for the news he received from Jeff. He had just set a new world speed record, 138.5 miles per hour.
I mean, that was incredible. The timers authenticated it. It was submitted to Guinness. Guinness accepted it, and I thought, man, that was really cool. I hold a world record, and it's a speed record of all things. I didn't even get a chance to brag about it before Graham came along and just trashed that record.
The ATV speed demon, Graham Hicks, had hit 145 miles per hour.
I saw him as the mortal enemy. He was setting the bar high for me, and so I just accepted it as a challenge that, you know, hey, you know what, you did it fair and square, and now I have to beat you. You know, now it's on. Once I realized I lost that record, I really wanted to set the bar so high that he would, and everybody else in the world would just step away and say, holy crap, I can't do that.
Terry and the team didn't stop there. The next year, they pushed the machine even farther and set another faster world speed record, 149.4 miles per hour.
You know, at the time I was just turning 40, and I thought, you know what, if you're gonna make something of this sport, you better do it now.
After the success of his second world speed record, rumors flew of other teams rising up to try and steal it from him.
Unfortunately, I haven't beaten it to such a degree that it's unattainable.
Coming up, in 2007, Terry and his crew decided it was time to return to Madras and let the ATV community know once and for all just who was the fastest man on Earth.
Oh no, we're starting over again.
My goal was actually to hit 175.
When Magnificent Obsessions continues. It's one thing to break a land speed record, it's another thing altogether to hang on to it. Terry Wilmeth holds the record for the fastest speed achieved on an all-terrain vehicle, and he knows there's always someone nipping at his heels.
My goal was actually to hit 175. That was way beyond anything we'd ever achieved before.
Every year he always says that it's his last one, but he always tries and does one more.
I thought 2007 would be my last year.
He just has this need to set the bar high enough to where no one else can break his record.
Well, now Terry holds the record, and I don't know why he just don't keep it that way, but he wants to go faster.
Terry bought himself a new ATV platform, and from the ground up, he's built an ATV that's specially crafted to smash world records. Or so he hopes. Could anything stop this man from setting his new goal of 175 miles per hour? Only one thing: his machine.
When we got to the speeds we needed to set the record, the bike literally wanted to come apart. I mean, it was just violent.
Back to Madras, Terry once again establishes a new world record. Not 175 miles per hour, but a still astonishing 155 miles per hour.
After his runs and the thing was just sitting there, the side casing, piece of shrapnel of the rocket blew off and went right across me and landed over there and it's sitting there smoldering. I'm trying to figure out what just happened. The side of the rocket casing blew out.